Welcome to the Spark Connect podcast. Well, apparently once I discovered I could have two guests on at the same time, I immediately did it again. Today's episode features Darryl Wyles and Sunilyn Hertt from Harmony Learning Solutions. And this conversation is such a joyful look at creativity, entrepreneurship, facilitation culture, and bringing more personality into our professional world. What started as a fun side project creating swag for facilitators and learning professionals turned into something much bigger, a brand and business that helps people express who they are and celebrate the work they do. And I love that so much. As a brand ambassador for Harmony Learning Solutions, I can personally say that it has been not only an honor, but genuinely fun. Somewhere deep inside, it also feels like I finally got to become the model I dreamed of being when I was a kid. Except now I'm modeling facilitator shirts and conference swag, which honestly feels better. We talk about how their partnership began, what it's like building a business together, the lessons they've learned along the way, and why fun and creativity actually matter in professional spaces. There's something really powerful about giving people permission to show up more fully as themselves. And yes, we absolutely talk about facilitator shirts, conference culture, side hustles, and the idea that not all superheroes wear capes. Some use the clicker. This episode is energetic, funny, encouraging, and full of heart. And now, my conversation with Darryl Wyles and Sunilyn Hertt. Well. Hi, I am so excited that we're back at the Spark Connect today, and I've got another duo. This is incredible to me. Kind of behind the scenes, I had a duo earlier today, and I'm having the second one, and there's only two in the whole line of the Spark Connect, and here they are. I'm so excited. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to let Darryl and Sunny, I see your name and I want to call you Sunilyn.
Yeah.
It's already happening.
It's
Sunilyn.
okay.
I've got Darryl and Sunilyn here today, and they got so much cool stuff they're doing, you guys. Swag City, Swag Central. I love it. It's exciting and cool. And plus, you might already know these wonderful ATD people because they are already contributing so much great stuff around the ATD land. And it's an honor to have them here today. And I'm talking too much, but without further ado, Sunny, over to you. Please introduce yourself, the work that you do. And then Darryl, same thing, yourself and the work you do. And then you guys do something pretty special together that we are here to talk about today. Let's get into it.
Okay. Well, I'm Sunilyn Hertt, and I am located in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and I work for Oklahoma State University, and I work under Extension. Some might know about the program, but our program is really interesting and unique where in Oklahoma, local elected officials are required by law to attend our program to learn about the laws and the duties of their office for them and their deputies. Their employees are called deputies. So I basically teach some pretty not so fun and sexy topics like land records, which is really cool, and like purchasing laws and things like that. But that's pretty much what I do full time for the university.
Wow, that's so cool. Now we know who to call when we want to get an example of, so you think this is boring, but wait. And then
Right.
we'll call
Yes.
you on that topic, and then we'll flip it around and have something great to talk about.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Well, Kassy, hey, first of all, thanks for inviting us to join you today. And I work for ATD in the education department. I'm a senior facilitator. I think I got the coolest job in the world. I get to go all over the place and teach our education programs to people in the talent development field, just helping people advance in their career, pick up different skills to grow and to impact the world. So that's what I do on my day job, but we're here to talk about our side hustle.
I know. You do have the coolest job in the world, by the way.
Yeah.
Darryl. We love ATD, and that is the best. And we also love the book that you co-authored as well, Facilitation in Action. Very cool.
Yeah, finding your authentic training style. Yeah, it came out a few years ago, and we still have people today come up to us and talk about the impact that book has. So I get to do some cool things like that: facilitate classes, write books, appear on videos for ATD,
Do neat things,
and present at conferences. So it's a fun job.
Yeah, and find who you are through all of that. That is one of the greatest messages in that book, just finding who you are and the way to express yourself, which is what brings us to what the two of you have done. So you have something really cool that you have launched. We need to know, okay, how did the two of you meet? What exactly have you launched? How long has it been going? Where's it go? I got a million questions, but why don't we start with, okay, what's the business that you're currently running? And we got to know how you met and got there.
Yeah, we're the founders of Harmony Learning Solutions. I'm gonna have Sunny tell you the story about how we met.
Okay.
We just after we met, we decided to join forces together. We wanted to show the world that, hey, this is a cool profession to work in. Attract people, younger people, to this profession. I can remember growing up, this was not a job that I imagined doing as a young person.
Yeah.
So, this is a good way to get some information out there about, hey, this is a cool profession to work in, and something that we all could consider being a part of.
That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. And yes, as soon as you said it, I'm going, yes, yes, it is the coolest job in the world. Whenever I'm at a networking event, like local, the chamber, and, people have all sorts of businesses and types of businesses that they run or that they're in. And then they could come to me and I'm like, I do, corporate training. And they go, oh, we're sorry you work corporate. Cause a lot of them are like makers and they got cool stuff going on. I'm like, no, 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 no. I work in learning and development. We like love each other. Yeah, but then so wait, you guys got this cool idea for this business, but wait, how did you 2 even meet though? Because you don't live in the same state. We are all connected through ATD, but how did this come about?
Okay, so I describe this time as lightning in a bottle, right? So let's set the scene. It's 2021. We're just opening back up from COVID, and depending on where you're from, where you're at, how your organization felt or how they dealt with COVID, there weren't a lot of people there, which I know you were there because we interacted there at that time as well. But I was just on a mission to just make connection. And it was almost like we were on this little cruise ship. You know how when you go on a cruise, you get to know everybody. And so it was just so small. Like it will never be like that again. And that's where I talk about the lightning in the bottle. It will probably never happen, hopefully not. But it was just so small and intimate where we got a chance to meet everyone almost attending, all of these speakers, and even like the powerhouses like you, and we were able to interact with people like you. And I made a really good core group of professionals or ATD leadership, chapter leadership people. And we still have a WhatsApp app message still going on today. It's not as active, but we're still connected, and just a resource. How so I set the stage by saying it was just a unique situation.
Yeah.
And I believe Darryl, that was his first ATD working as an employee for ATD. And I was just, like I said, on a mission to meet everybody and just make connection because it is so energizing being at a conference. Fine, just being there, but just being around all the different types of people. And I am like a sponge. I just want to learn and experience it from everybody's angle. So that's how we really met. It was outside of the conference center, and that was the first, to make history. It's in history now. That's
I
where we
love
met.
it. I just love Harmony Learning Solutions has got the coolest swag for the profession that we are in as facilitators and trainers. It's so much fun. In fact, I see you've got a new one. I was looking at it earlier today in preparation for our interview. I don't remember it being there when we first started talking about this, but it's the not all superheroes wear capes. Some use the clicker. I'm going to have to get that, by the way, with the whole superhero stuff I've got going on with my brand. I'm putting that in my box right now, my cart. But it's cool what you guys have put together. And so I'm wondering, so you meet in our lightning in a bottle moment in our lovely ATD community that became so international really quickly, didn't it? And like you're right. For me, I've been doing this a little while. I was like, everybody's finally at the party. Yes, I got to meet more of you. But then how do you decide, let's have a business together and let's put this swag together for people?
Yeah, it took a while. It took a while. I mean, we had that first interaction that first year, and a year goes by and the conference comes up again. And I think every year since then, Sunny and I have been very intentional about making sure we catch up with each other. And, a couple of years go by, we meet each time and we got to know each other better and better as we went on. And I think at some point during our conversations, it just clicked. I mean, you see with Sunny, her infectious energy, she, is just a light. Everybody's kind of drawn to her. And then you add in, some people say I'm cool and collected. So I think one of the things we say, oh, hey, we mesh very well together. But one thing that stands out, I think the second year we caught up with one another, Sunny reached out to me and said, hey, I got this idea. I want to run it by you. And it was an idea about writing a book. And, the angle was to tap into her early education background and create a book that just shows how people should interact with each other at work. I thought it was kind of a idea that was outside of the box. Listening to that, something clicked with me, and I've always wanted to be a business owner, but I was always had these barriers, these personal barriers that kind of kept me away from it. But I think I often think back to that time, and Sunny always teases me. I say no to every idea she throws out.
Does she?
And of course, that time I did say, I don't know if that's going to work out.
Yeah.
But having someone who's not afraid to share ideas and express themselves is something that stuck with me. And I think a year later, I said, Sunny, I just have this vision that you and I could be the perfect partners for a business. And I told her, I don't know at the moment. I told her, I don't know what we would do, but I think we bring the creative side out of each other.
That's so cool.
I listen to her ideas, scrutinize them, and then she does the same for me, and it really works out. But we formed Harmony Learning Solutions a couple of years ago. We decided, hey, we're going to push forward and start our business. And we've had a couple of ideas along the way. We've considered doing podcasts. We considered doing children's books. And we settled on apparel because we wanted to be a little bit different than anybody else that's in this space. A lot of people join together to consult or to run their business that way. But we love our day jobs, and we wanted to do something to support the industry that's in addition to what we do each day.
So basically, the two of you meet because of online networking, and then the connection through the association that we belong to, ATD. And then you just say, okay, we want to have a business, but you don't know what it was going to be yet. And you're like, let's just do it. And then you're like, I got an idea, and it wasn't that, and it wasn't that, and it wasn't that. And then it became this. And so now it seems so simple, but then at the same time, everyone knows starting a business is not simple. So how do you end up going, okay, this is the business? Did you try out the other ones first, or they never went anywhere and this one made the most sense?
I think what we did, we had a throw everything at the wall type gathering, and just, we have ideas of maybe what we'll do in the future, but we really wanted to exercise the fun creative one first, I think it wasn't easy for us because we're sitting here trying to think, okay, what direction or what's the end result? But we just, again, assess to see which one would be the fun one. Because again, this is our creative outlet or the fun piece. But I can tell you that our name was decided and developed in a cab in New Orleans. And a cab driver, not a cab driver, but an Uber driver helped us with our name, and she signed off on it. And we were like, okay, good to go. We're going to do Harmony.
I love this. I was going to ask you. So tell us about the name, Harmony Learning Solutions.
I don't even know how those words came into. I think a lot of the times what we do is kind of say, okay, this is the thing that we need to be working on. We kind of separate and figure out and come with our own ideas, and then we come back together or share. And then we're like, oh, I like that one. I don't like this one. I like that one. And I don't know, Darryl, do you want to explain any more about that?
Well, Kassy, we don't live in the same state. So part of the way that we interact with each other is through calls like this or maybe a phone call. So we wanted to come up with a name that describes the connection. Yeah. And I think we found from our interactions with each other where, whether it's being supportive of our journeys or creating or come up with ideas to deal with things that we might be encountering at work, we kept coming back to that word harmony, because
Yeah.
it was a good description of the partnership that was forming and the friendship that was established years ago when we met at the conference.
Yeah.
I think we had maybe 3 or 4 words that were akin to harmony. We bounced them off of the Uber driver, which is such a sunny idea.
I love that. I love
And the Uber driver said, "Yeah, harmony. That sounds a lot like what you all are doing right now," because we were going back and forth
the cutest.
with our conversation. So yeah, I think it's the perfect name to describe the partnership we have.
I was just so inspired by this because I've really been leaning into if we can find joy in the work that we're doing, then we're going to be able to get through all of this stuff that's coming at us right now. There's so much we have so much that we can be easily overwhelmed by. And there's so much change, rapid change, and so much unknown. And for me, the way that I'm personally surviving it is to find something fun or just something that makes me crack up or, that's just like different and unusual. If I can find that, then I'll be like, okay, I got it. I'm going to learn that complicated process because I want a custom song at the end that's for me. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is. And it sounds like that's what you've done. Like we just enjoy each other. We enjoy the work that we do. Let's like you said, what's the name? Let's find what's making us happy and what's making us have fun right now. And that's the name, and it's so neat. So how are you marketing it? Like what's how does one go about? So you have a business that really, it's an online business for facilitators, trainers, basically members of ATD, where we can go and get swag and things like what kind of products do you have in the store and what kind of things do you foresee there it's going towards? So let's start with what you currently have as I find a normal question in the store.
Yeah, Sunny, what?
Okay, sorry, I didn't know. Okay, so we currently have t-shirts, hoodies. We have and yes,
I have a hoodie. I have the most beautiful blue hoodie that is the cutest thing. Eat, sleep, facilitate, repeat. Did you
yes.
see Kara North commented? She's like, can I have one that's just sleep times 4? And I'm like, well, that's not facilitating, Kara. I'm going to need the notebook.
Sorry, upside down.
Not all superheroes wear capes. Some use a clicker. I'm going to need that. And then I love that facilitating is my jam with is that a mouse pad?
Yes.
There's so many things. And every time I go out to the site, there's a new item.
Look. And this is my shtick right now is no one gets the clicker, but I'm all about how can we make this clicker like use it until we cannot use it any longer.
I think the clicker is really funny. What is that? Is that a shirt with the clicker on it?
Yes, it's a shirt with with clickers on them.
It's so fun. The shirt is, I can really see like guys wearing the shirt like that. I can see my husband wearing that. And I have PJ bottoms that you sent me that I think are just adorable. But you're right. Like, how can we get the clicker more out there? Because people are like, wait, what is that? But when you know what it is, it's hilarious and funny. And it's
right.
Great.
Right.
Yeah. And I think many of our ideas were born because, when we go around explaining to the world what we do, a lot of people don't quite understand.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuance and inside facilitation that's involved. So these the apparel, the accessories, all describe what we do on a day in and day out basis. So yeah, the clicker is a big deal. I lose my clicker every time I'm facilitating the class. I put it down someplace I can't find it. But if I wear this shirt, I will not miss my clicker. Yeah. I think a lot of the phrases that we have for the apparel and the accessories, a lot of light-hearted humor that's involved, but also a clear description of what people in our field are doing day in and day out to impact the world.
Yeah. And to feel proud about it.
We also have children's. We just have a couple children's things. We have some pet things.
The pet things, the dog collars.
Just to touch on what Darryl said about a lot of people don't really understand what we do.
Yeah.
And a lot of our family members don't even understand. So it's just another way, a talking point to say, try to explain what we're doing. What is it about? For me, I want to enjoy my life and I want to have fun. And so it's just a way for people to express themselves And maybe I could even think them dressing it up and putting it under a blazer, or, how conference wear, they kind of wear a skirt with a t-shirt and, whatever. But we're just trying to have fun and help people express themselves that are in the field.
Yeah. Do you have any plans for any booths or anything? Like, can people get a hold of the swag when we're in person any place?
No.
It's a future plan probably, right? Because I know it's an online
Maybe.
store right now, but
Yes.
We take all suggestions.
Yes. We're so new. It's just, and it's been easier just to use, have it print on demand situation.
yeah.
And
Okay.
just so, nobody's, again, this is our side hustle. So it's
Yeah.
something that makes it really easy. And then also, it's just, even with the shipping, was very quick to you and to ourselves. And
Yeah.
so, um,
Yeah.
Well, I would say this: visit harmonylearningsolutions.com
Yes.
and
There's so many.
find the thing that you could wear to express yourself. I got a special one.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Let me see.
And we talked about expressing ourselves and everything. And, one of the things that I like to do whenever I'm facilitating is I like to carry myself with a little swagger,
Yeah.
confidence and everything. So my favorite one is I put the lit in facilitate.
I love that so much.
And, when I'm in my mode and I'm in the room with folks, you know, that's the feeling that I have. I feel like I'm putting the lit and facilitate. So, you can find something on our site. Again, harmonylearningsolutions.com.
Yeah. I love
Go
it.
there and you can find something that really, expresses, who you are as a professional in our field. And like Sunny has said to me in the past, it's for all types of personalities. So
Yeah.
if you're the one who's loud and proud of expressing yourself, or if you are more comfortable in the background, but you want to let your clothes make the statement, this is a place to go to get something to express yourself.
It's so much fun. There's so many fun things available on the site. I'm noticing too that there's a sticker that says facilitator mode on, and it's a sticker that you can put on your laptop. I know that for me, stickers really work. I like stickers. I like putting them on the laptop because then people start asking you about things when they see it, and just little ways for people to show who they are or demonstrate what they love to do without having to have words coming out of their mouths. It's like such a fun, simple, enjoyable way to help find that joy, and like you said too, maybe draw other people into the work that we do. I'm wondering if either one of you would have advice for those listening on how they too could go about finding something so joyful, because you guys have both been, like, I like to call them perma smiles ever since we started talking about it. As soon as I say, let's talk about Harmony Learning Solutions, you're both like, what's your advice for somebody who is thinking about doing a side gig or, you know, something along these lines?
Yeah, I would say don't wait. If you have that in your mind, and for so many years, I'm giving advice against what I've done in the past. So I sit back and say to myself, I wish I had done this years ago. But I'm grateful that the journey led me first to Sunny, and then we were able to do this together. So if you have the idea to try something out that taps into your creative genes, allows you to express yourself, and most importantly, take risk. I would say go full speed forward. Been some really good lessons Sunny and I have learned in this process. In terms of getting the word out there to the
Yeah.
world of what we're doing, and uh, I would say really good lessons that we've learned that I think will only help us moving forward. So that would be the advice I would offer.
Yeah.
Just go for it. And we have these opportunities now with all the technology that's available to us. You can do so much with just a phone or a computer to bring your ideas to life.
Yeah. I love that. Sonny, what would you add on as advice, things that you've learned? Because I also want to circle back. I used a business word to the lessons learned, if you don't mind sharing what some of those are. But what advice do you have, Sonny, for us?
well, I don't think I would have done it on my own, one, because it was kind of surprising when he did come with that epiphany that he had, because I've always been like, I want a boss because, and I want insurance. What makes why I said yes and why now this is a thing is because Darryl is such a good supporter. And, you say that we both have smiles on our face. He's a very positive person. So it helps to be with a positive person. I do have to tell him every once in a while, take that filter down about the no thing. I mean, but that's just his personality because he likes to be safe, right? So
Mhm.
I'm the one that's like, let's do it all, and then he's more of the, okay, let's be, rational here. But he has done a great job. I know I've pushed him outside of his comfort zone in a lot of different ways when it comes to ideas of what we want to do or what we should do. But also, he's the best cheerleader and, he's got so much. I feel like compared to a lot of people, I'm still like a teenager in the field. Like, I feel like I can learn so much from everybody. So that's why I like,
Yeah. Yeah.
going to conference and just, I talk to anybody that gets in my little spot, but that's normal for me anyway. But I just say, also we are very respectful to each other. And I told him we should talk about we have a charter, I guess that's what it's called, our rules for our business. And we both agreed upon those things and what we wanted out of it. But what happens, Darryl, if we can't decide, we disagree? What do we have to do to figure that out?
It's rock, paper, scissors.
My gosh.
Now
Well, we
I don't know how we're gonna do that virtually.
I think I
But
have a group of that somewhere for you. Reach out to me. I think we did
maybe,
that online at some
yeah,
point.
yeah,
There's a way to do
maybe we'll
it.
roll some dice or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So what are some of the lessons that have been a big key thing that you've learned right away? So you've met, you have some dreams, you have an idea and you want to have a business. So you do it. And this is very joyful, but there are inevitably going to be lessons there. So what can you share with us one of the key ones that's coming to mind right now?
I would say, you can't do everything, right? Because we come up with the ideas. Just reaching out and trying, like, we have a great designer that we found. She does a great job and she helped us. It was, our ideas, what we wanted, but we couldn't make the pictures or she was able to help us. I say reach out and find people that can help you. And I don't know, what else would you say, Darryl?
Yeah, I think patience has grown in this process. You'll launch your business and if you don't see results right away, that could be discouraging. So I would say just patience and keep building on your plan and be ready to make changes to it while you're in the midst of the journey. And I think our patience will pay off for us with kind of meeting some of the targets that we've had for our business. Uh, we're also learning a lot about marketing.
Yeah.
We learn new lessons about marketing every day.
Really, like what happened? And this is
Well,
actually why we've come together because you asked me to help with some of that, which I was like, of course, I love doing that. Super fun. But
yeah,
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 what came to mind for you on that?
yeah.
Yeah.
We had when we launched our business back in November of 2025, we had a posting storm through all of our social media, and we said, "Oh yeah, this is going to get the word out to everyone." And I think what we've discovered is, yeah, while we received a lot of support and we had some sales, I, I think there's perhaps some more organic ways to get the messaging out. So I think one of the lessons that one of my colleagues shared with me is, hey, you have to be your product to a certain degree. So
Mm,
we've done photo shoots that we're gonna make as part of our social media campaign. Sunny's got a lot of great ideas of what we can do at conference to get the word out there. So I think I think one of the ways that we're going to get the word out about our business is through interactions like this and just kind of one-on-ones where we're letting the world know what we do,
yeah.
and then from there have them kind of be our ambassadors to say, hey, did you know that there's a product that for our industry, and have the world kind of help us in spreading the word about about what we're doing. So,
Yeah.
uh,
People see stuff and then they want it, It's like
yeah,
you have it's prime it's prime space at the conference to be walking around with it, bring everything that you have and people are going to want that. And they're going to want to know where to go. Like have a QR code where people can scan it right away and go buy that.
yeah,
So, yeah, I'm happy to help do that because I think it's super fun. Because I know I'm like that where I just want to have something fun to represent what I'm about and what I'm doing. So I think it's attractive to people for sure.
yeah. And those tend to be the standouts. I mean, we've seen people at conference who, whether it's they're the ones who take all the selfies or they're the ones who are, at the autograph sessions and things of that nature. There's a lot of people who express themselves. So now you got some uniforms or some hoodies or T-shirts that you can get to really express yourself.
Yeah, it's great.
What came to mind as well when it came to the marketing piece and, people want to see the items, right? Not just a
Yeah.
stock image. I was having a discussion about explaining what our business was all about because they would see these posts that we may, we've started a business, we have a business and then see even though we put out marketing of like what the image was of the item, the feedback was just like Darryl said, they want to see it, but not necessarily just on us, but a live person. So that's kind of where, with Darryl's feedback, my feedback, that's where it was like, we need to ask somebody. And I go, I want to ask Kassy if she would do it. And he goes, do you know Kassy? Because he thinks it's just Sunny being Sunny, and I'm just gonna reach out, which I don't. I would reach out to anyone. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't
But we
have.
did know. We were fine. Of course.
Yeah,
I was like, "Hey girl, what's up?"
I was like, I think she knows me. We've actually had a conversation a couple times and, interactions. And so I just thought that was funny. And that so I could go back after, you even contacted me that day because I reached out or not reached out, but I got some resources off of your website for my
Mhm.
team at work.
Yep.
So it was just kind of funny. It just kind of all just worked out because we had just been having those discussions. And then I could go back and say, I do know her and she knows me too.
Yep. 100%. It's so great.
So, Kassy, you're a pioneer. I think Sunny's goal is to get so many influencers in our field to wear our products. So
Yeah.
you're the first in
Hmm.
line.
And I'm the first? That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So
I love
I think she's going to be pretty successful in getting even more to wear our gear.
Yeah,
Do
for
you think
sure.
Elaine would do that? Would wear one of our shirts?
Maybe, yeah. She's a sweetheart.
Yes.
I think you need to bring some items to the conference that's coming up and have them ready to go and get some of that footage while we're there. Like I will do that. And I'm sure other
Yeah.
people would like to do it too. Yeah. The easy things that they can put on. It's been really fun talking to the two of you. It's been great. And I'm really excited for what you've got. And I think people really are going to like this when they know it's out there. And just keep doing what you're doing. Keep bringing the smiles and the joy because it is definitely very fun.
Yes.
And
Well,
Where
thank
can
you,
we find
Kassy.
out more about you? We've got your website, but where else can we connect with you, Sunny, and keep up with what you're up to next?
They're Sunilyn Hertt, and that's pretty much where you can find me.
Awesome. And Darryl, how about you?
Yeah, you can find me also on LinkedIn under Darryl Wyles and follow me on my journey.
Yeah, into these entrepreneurship and
Yes.
the land of the facilitator swag.
Well, I do want to say one thing is that our first customer she was not a facilitator. It was actually Darryl's aunt that
Oh,
purchased the design that says unmute yourself.
I need that one too, by the way.
Yeah, it's a really do you have that one, Darryl? Show him, Darryl.
I love
Yeah,
that. Unmute
I think I
yourself.
have it. I don't know if you'll be able to see
It's
it.
the black one. Yeah, and it is really pretty
It's
and
cool.
like
That
yeah,
particular one is so relevant for online, but it is also just relevant for the world and for anyone who's muted themselves in any
yeah,
way.
That's
yeah.
exactly what my aunt said. She did a post wearing her swag, her unmute yourself swag, and that's exactly what she said.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We all need that one. Well, it has been a pleasure to be with the both of you today. Thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for bringing the joy to the show today.
Thanks for
Thank
having us.
you.
That's your spark. Now go light something up. And hey, if this episode lit you up, share it with a friend, a fellow facilitator, or someone who needs a little more connection in their day. Be sure to follow the Spark Connect so you don't miss what's next. We've got more brilliant voices, bold ideas, and heart-forward conversations coming your way. Until then, stay curious, stay brave, and keep showing up.